childhood, we picture Snow White laying dead after eating a poisonous apple. We see Peter Pan fighting off Captain Hook with his little dagger. Simba throwing Scar off the cliff to face the wrath of the hyenas. For each of us, these images invoke an emotion of sorrow, joy, or empathy. If you're like me, you had your favorite that was probably running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the first 7 years of your life. Who gave us these emotions? Who is the man behind the joy, the laughs, the tears? The answer? Walt Disney. Today I'll give you a brief overview of the upbringings, the characters, and the advances in animation made by Walt Disney. Let's look at Disney's early life. Disney had many influences as he grew up. His hometown, for example. Disney was born in December 5th, 1901. According to Walt Disney, a biography. When he was 5, his family moved south from Chicago to Mercilin, Missouri, which was a small town between two metropolises. The effects of this rural society allowed Disney to have a feeling of the past and the future that was coming. Many of his times here influenced who he would be as an animator and in life. Disney also idolized his older brother, Roy. Roy Disney was 7 years older than Walt, and like any younger brother, Walt wanted to be just like Roy. So much to the fact that during World War I, Walt Disney dropped out of school and his art institute to try to join the armed forces like his brother. However, Disney was only 16 years old, and the Army rejected him for being too young. Instead, he then went to the Red Cross. The Red Cross then accepted him, and he was shipped off to France for the war. After the war was over, Disney came back and began his artistic career. One would say that the creation of Disney would be like a Hollywood script. The mouse that we all know today could have never happened. Disney's first character was a rabbit named Oswald, the Lucky Rabbit. However, through a contracting scandal, Disney lost most of his artists and the rabbit itself. Disney then went from where he was in New York when he found out about this scandal back to Los Angeles. On the train, he made a new lead character, a mouse. Now, many of y'all might not know this, but Disney's first name for this mouse was Mortimer Mouse. And like any good man, he had a woman beside him. When he pitched this to his wife said, "Let's make it something more kid-friendly." She suggested the name Mickey. Disney's dreams began to surpass just animation. He wanted to create a place where imagination and adventure could thrive. This place was imagined in 1954 when Disney World opened in Southern California, according to Married to the Mouse. This place was to be a location where adults and kids alike would be stimulated to have adventure and creativity. Through all the joy Walt Disney brought to the world, he also brought advances that would revolutionize the animation world. Disney was more than an animator, he was an inventor. Unlike traditional one-plane animation views, Disney tried to find a way to create depth. The way he did this is, instead of having one layer of film and a camera viewing that, he developed a multi-layer plane where a camera would move through different images to give the perception of a deeper depth. Many of the early animation did this through going towards inanimate objects such as a house. So the way that this would work is you would have 4 to 5 different films in front of a camera, and they would move towards the camera, and the camera would appear to go through the different images to create an actual movement of the audience. And this was revolutionary in the time that it was made. Disney was also asked to assist in the creation of the 1964 World's Fair, according to the 1964 to 1965 New York World's Fair. one of Disney's best and well-known attractions was seen here. It's a Small World was realized at this fair. It connected both people from all generations and all walks of life in four corners of the earth. Unlike most of the people that made attractions for the World's Fair, Disney never envisioned his being torn down and thrown to scrap. So what he did is, after the fair was over, he moved It's a Small World from its location in New York to its now sitting position in Disneyland, where it is today. And the characters that were in the Small World that did the World's Fair are still active to this day. So the original characters have been preserved and are still in Disneyland today. Disney has been an instrumental part in all of our lives. He made us laugh, he made us cry. And when we thought that everything was going bad and that things could never be right, we can see through Disney that we bring hope through imagination. We see Snow White wake up to the kiss of the prince. We see Peter Pan cast Hook into the awaiting jaws of the crocodile. We see Simba rise to lead the pride. However, through all of this, Disney remained humble. And one of the things he always looked back at, he said, we must always remember, this was all started with a mouse.